highly requested. I think we had quite a few views and interest on the Decoupage suitcase and the Decoupage table. This is a Parsons table, which you can buy at IKEA for very little money. We are very excited about this because, you know, you just don't see this kind of project. We went to the flea market this past weekend. My husband made me buy 3 more suitcases, so here we go. You guys were fascinated by these, and I'm so excited because I've been doing them for about 10 years. I used to put children's storybooks and decoupage that, but then I decided, let me try this fabric thing, and I fell in love. So using Sispoon fabrics, I'm sorry to say they only work with Sispoon fabrics. I've tried other fabrics. For some reason, this is totally a joke, but okay, anyway. So what you need are these beautiful fabrics that you all recognize and pinking shears. And make sure, you guys, that you've checked the inside of your suitcase. You'd be amazed at how they can smell really foul with, what are those things called? Mothballs and things like that. Those kinds of smells are very hard to eradicate. So you really want to make sure it smells good. So that's the most important thing when buying. I like to pay between $10 and $20. You know, because I'm decoupaging them, I don't want really to spend a lot of money. And you can usually be able to find them at that price. So what you want to do, and you do need quite a bit. This whole can, this whole bottle, will do this whole suitcase. And as you know, when I'm doing a project, I don't do the whole thing because you guys don't want to watch the whole thing. And time-lapsing can be such a drag. So I'm just going to do a little patch here for you. Lay it down, not thickly, because thickly can tend to bleed through. Another trick is use darker colors. Do not use see-through whites or creams. Those come with a whole range of problems. Then you're just going to lay it right on the Mod Podge. As you can see, I've used pinking shears on 2 ends. On these 2 sides I didn't, but I'm going to overlap those. When you don't use pinking shears, they do fray. Everything frays. And then you've got a bunch of strings like that. You're going to put another piece next to this. And you know, sometimes you'll get the feel, once you start shopping for suitcases, you'll get the feel for what you like, what works. Here's one that's been pinked. Make sure there's enough glue on the underside. And once again, lay that down. And if you think you haven't gotten enough, just go back under. Don't make a big deal out of it. You know, we're not, or I'm not, I should say, speak for myself. I'm not a big perfectionist because I find when I am a perfectionist, it keeps me from doing a project, and I'll keep a project, I'll procrastinate on it because I can't do it perfectly. So the best thing to do is to dive in and really just start working. As you can see, this is kind of cockeyed. You know, I don't really have a plan in mind. You can certainly do this. You can have everything pre-cut, have your whole plan devised. It's just kind of not the way I work. I guess I like to step back from it and see what else I can put on there. And now you'll see on this one. What I do is, these didn't necessarily run to the end, but I just put pieces of fabric to cover the suitcase. And a lot of times what I'll do is, if there's a little piece of suitcase showing and I want to mend it quickly, even though these are light, it won't be a big problem. I'll just cover that hole with that and give it a, you know, again, not a perfectionist. You know, this is really just for decoration. You can certainly house things in here and keep projects in there, but, and I swear people love them just for art. So when you're done, you know, covering this side, I would, you know, let that dry a little bit and then go over it again. We're just going to pretend with your Mod Podge. And I found that using matte, I really didn't love the high gloss, guys, I gotta be honest. I love the matte. The matte just gave it a nice finished look without looking too shiny. And then always kind of spray with a non-toxic varnish or a water-based matte varnish. Just spray it. I'm sure that there are techniques that you could do to, lacquer or something like that, which I have not investigated, but would be charming. And the Parsons table is done the exact same way as the Suitcase. You just keep laying and laying. Again, this was not preconceived. I just picked up fabrics as I went along. Certainly as artists that we are, we sort of step back and say, do I like that with that? And you hold things up. But this is a really organic way to do it. The technique that I use on the legs is the same technique I use on our letters. This is the letter O, and let me just show you how we do that. It's our technique called wrapping. And what we're going to do, these do not have to be anywhere near perfect. You could glue it there, you could hot glue it there, but I start by just holding it and wrapping it. Madeline came up with this technique, and I use it on everything because it's so cool. How cool does that look? For a photo shoot, it could be really fun hanging. I'm going to wrap, 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 and glue this here. Hot glue it right there. Whoops, something came along with me. And just glue. You have pieces here, but you're just going to go over them with another piece of fabric. And try to do different colors. That makes it really fun. And so you'll have something like this in the end. And there is your Decoupage Suitcase table tutorial from Sis Boom. And we're so glad that you're watching these.